This convening, Long Island grassroots organizing is a light. I pray it's a sign. I pray it's a day where we connect and really build a fusion effort on Long Island. And there needs to be a convening, a summit of poor people coming together and demanding economic justice. We must organize and say this won't go on any longer and we won't be silent anymore. To win the victories that we're praying for, we must organize. I don't know where you were in 2020, but I've come to let you know that in the year 2020, there were some movements happening. There were people rattling and saying, we won't sit in silence and this meeting today comes from a long exerting of trying to get this together. So bear witness that today is testament that we're organizing on Long Island. As I come to my conclusion, I want to close by again reaffirming the need to struggle on Long Island. We're going to fight all day and night until we get it right.
Thank you, Jamal, for your beautiful words, for energizing us this morning. On behalf of the planning committee for the summit, we have a little gift for you, so stick around. Just a little something to say thank you. We really appreciate you coming out and sharing your energy and for your beautiful words. Without further ado, my name is Kenneth Cologne from Brentwood. By day, I'm a public health researcher. In the evenings, I'm organizing with my fellow organizers in the crowd. So we're going to transition now to the panel discussion. I will be your moderator, and I would like to welcome our esteemed panelists to the stage. I'm going to run through a few questions that I have prepared. I want to start with something that's been top of mind for many, and that is the 2022 midterms. I want to ask our panelists, in your estimation, what went wrong? And I know there's a lot.
The Democratic Party can only say things like, well, maybe we should reconsider bail reform.
We can't leave this conversation without acknowledging Jay Jacobs and his military. Right? So it's about what can you now do for me? What can you do in your position of power? Right? Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's about power. So let's see what power looks like.
We're fighting for us. And Miles mentioned systems. It's all about systems. Right? We have to create a system that works for us. We have to go out there and demand that they start investing in us. You look at Holt's budget. It's a budget for billionaires. And there's no budget there for us. Right? We have to demand that they have to invest in us, that they have to tax the ultra wealthy, because that's who they're serving. They're not serving the people. So we're here today to say we're going to stop this system in its tracks, and we're going to change it. We're going to make sure that they're investing in us, that they're fighting for us, and if they're not, well, I just say we'll step up and fight for ourselves.
Something that was mentioned, Catherine mentioned bail reform, Joe mentioned messaging. In a lot of the post-midterm analyses, we saw that different commenters commented on the success of Republicans' messaging on crime, right, and all of this sort of fear-mongering around whether or not it's based in reality. How do we, as a progressive movement, effectively counter that messaging?
The race-class narrative is a proven framework, organizing and messaging framework, for making cross-racial, class, and gender solidarity central to countering this divide and conquer strategy and advancing our progressive worldview. And this has been done to win in the states that I mentioned earlier. We use that to bring about victories at the local level, where I'm from in Babylon. We will come together today to protect our freedoms and reshape our island, our state, and our nation for the better.
I wonder, how do we, as a generally speaking progressive movement, where there is potential for collaboration, how do we work with the Democratic Party to achieve our ends?
It's not the Democratic Party. It's not any party. We have to make the decisions about what's best for us and go out there and make it happen. The Democratic Party has to come to us. Any party that wants us has to come to us. If they want to collaborate, you constantly hear it. I constantly hear Jay Jacobs go, the far left, right? He's excluding us. We have to come within our own. Who will run? We have to train leadership development. right? We have to support them. They are our allies because they are us. That's who we should be fighting for. That's who we should be collaborating with. That's who we should be looking to win.
And I hear a lot of people talking about, either banging their heads against the brick wall of the J. Jacobs Democratic Party or leaving the party. We need to get tougher. And I mean that for myself as well. We need to be tougher. We are in a crisis here. And we need to take power away from the J. Jacobs of the world. And we can do it. We need to fight for those candidates. We need to fight in the streets for the things that can't just happen in electoral politics. We have to fight harder. We need to take over the Democratic Party.
We're going to continue to grow and grow and make the grassroots on Long Island a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, thank you to our panelists. Thank you all so much for your words.